Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Jamie here today, and we're going to be talking about why Stu Macher is still alive from the Scream series. Now, obviously, a lot of people are going to be like, he's dead clearly, but you never know, man. I'm still holding out hope that they're going to bring him back. And if you don't bring him back inside this next film, then yeah, I'm going to let it die. But we still got a little bit of chance. And today we're going to talk about why I think he's still alive and how they could bring him back, and the evidence that points towards him being alive. This video is also going to have spoilers throughout the entire franchise. It's just warning for spoilers. If you've not seen a new film, don't watch this video until you have. So to start off, obviously, Stu was one of the main killers in Scream 1 with Billy. You know, he got stabbed quite a few times by Billy, and obviously Sidney drops the TV on his head as well, which was a 90s TV, and it was quite big. That's the last time we see him alive. We go on to Scream 2. Matthew Lillard did actually visit the set. He had blonde hair at the time, and he's seen inside the film for like a blink and you miss it moment. He was dating Neve Campbell at the time. I think that's why he was on the set. Like I said, he's got the blonde hair. And who greets him? Mickey. And Mickey, spoilers, was one of the killers in Scream 2. So there's a little connection right there. Obviously, that's not Stu being alive. That's just Matthew visiting the set. But you know, you could always tie that back around if you wanted to. Scream 3 is where we get to the big points, because like, you know, the original idea was Stu to come back alive inside the prison and running like a cult of killers from inside the prison, so he would have been alive. And the fact that he actually was going to have this as Scream 3 until, you know, the Columbine incident happened and they changed the script just a few weeks before starting shooting. Like, that just says it right there. The writers themselves, Kevin Williamson, wanted to bring him back, and Wes Craven was okay with it as well. That was the actual plan. So I really wish we would have saw it, obviously, but we didn't. But the fact that he's actually going to do it, I think that points towards something. Scream 4, though, like, we get a few brief mentions, but there's nothing really in Scream 4 to really talk about. Like, they mentioned his name once or twice. But Scream 5, Scream 2022, whatever you want to call it, that's where we get quite a few, because the new creators of this, you could tell, are fans of the series, and they were teasing Stu throughout it, man. Obviously, the main one being the YouTube video thumbnail when we say, like, is the real Stu Macher alive? That's obviously just a callback to fans like me thinking he's alive all these years. But you know, it's put there for a reason. The same with Kirby being alive in the same screenshot. Another reason why, like, they show Billy throughout the film. Like, apart from Sam seeing him, like, you got the true crime thing with his photo, and it seems like even the original question inside the opening, like, she says, "Oh, it's Billy Loomis, I got you," and he's like, "No, there were two killers, Stu as well." Seemed like Billy outshines Stu throughout the movie, really. Here's a new bit of information we found out as well. They filmed, apparently, the aftermath of Scream 1, and they had body bags showing Billy and Stu being taken out and Tatum being taken off the garage door and stuff. Apparently, they actually filmed it, but they cut it out of the film. Matthew Lillard also said this in an interview, like, in 2020 with the Thing with Two Heads in podcast, that he had a prosthetic head made. So the timing matches up with when they were filming Scream. But if they film this, and obviously the filming costs money, why would they cut it out of the film? Maybe they cut it out because they actually wanted Stu to be alive, who knows? Unless we'll have to wait for the Blu-ray and we'll see if we get it as the deleted scene, but apparently they filmed it. So why cut it out if you filmed it? We also know now Matthew Lillard is inside the new film. He voices Chrome Face in Stab 8. And everyone's got the voice at the party as well, aren't they, when they're saying for Wes and stuff like that. Even Jamie Kennedy is in it as well, the guy who played Randa. And one thing I just noticed, because I've seen this film 3 times now at the cinema, when they refer to Stu, it's not in the past tense. It's like, oh, he is the other killer. It's not he was. So when they mention Stu as well, the fact that they're not mentioning him in past tense, that's something as well. All these things could add up, or they couldn't. We'll have to see where, I mean, it's been, what, 25 years now or something like that since he died. But the main problem is, like, how would you explain whereabouts he was? Like, at the end of part 1, if he was alive, he probably would have been arrested. That's the big question, really, innit? Like, all these years he's not been mentioned. No one's thought, oh, there's a new killer around, maybe it's Stu. No mention of him, no sighting of him, apart from Scream 2. But, I mean, that's the main issue that writers are going to face if they actually bring him back. Let me know how you would bring him back as well, but here's my theory of bringing him back. Like, you could go different ways of it. You could be where, like, he was arrested at the end of part 1, taken into custody, like, you know, mental asylum for a bit until either he escapes or he, you know, he's just let out because of they think he's better. Who knows? I would really like to know what Kevin Williamson's original idea was for 3, like, because like, he was the killer. Like, how are you going to explain it? Was he just in prison all this time? But yeah, once he's out of the asylum, he could be on the stab Reddit, like, you know, recruiting killers, as we've seen throughout the series, especially with Richie and Amber. And he could also say, like, we've all said, like, the size difference don't make sense inside the new Scream. Amber supposedly killed Dewey, but the size difference doesn't match up. And obviously, it's just stuntmen always playing Ghostface, that's why. But they could always link this back and be like, no, it was Stu who killed Dewar. Stu's like, you know, this one's personal for me, because they take Tara's on a private floor, and they take care of the security guard, so they cleared it out for Stu to, you know, come in. They could always write that. That would be really good if they actually do that, but that's just fan fiction as well. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down inside the comments down below. Do you want Stu back? And if you do, how would you write around, like, where's he been all this time? That's the main issue, really. Like, I can believe that he survived the TV and the stabs, because we've seen how many times did Dewey survive? Like, you know, until this new one, unfortunately. Like and subscribe if you're new. Until next time, peace out in a bit.